Good hello friends, and welcome to the start of the mini magical readathon. As you guys saw from my TBR video, I have quite an ambitious pile in front of me. We'll see how much of it I can get through. I do have a couple of goals in terms of this week, and so I'm really hoping that I can get as much read as possible, but I guess we're just gonna have to play it out by ear. But this is me just popping in to say hi. Welcome to the vlog. Hopefully I read a lot. Yeah. So hi, I have been doing an absolutely terrible job at vlogging for this mini magical readathon, and honestly I was kind of thinking about not doing a vlog, but I decided, you know what, this is actually going to be one of the ways that I keep myself accountable for the books that I'm reading. With that in mind, I have a pretty substantial reading update for y'all. So today while I was working, I found that I had like a lot of not monotonous tasks necessarily, but tasks that didn't require too much brain power. And so I decided that I was going to start listening to the audiobook of Truth Witch, which is the whole reason why I didn't fully understand it last time, because I'm a lot more conscious and I'm making a much more active effort to listen to the book. I'm retaining a lot more of it and I'm really enjoying myself. Safia and Isolt's relationship is really kind of like, it's so special because these two sisters have such a different way of looking at the world, but they're so incredibly in sync that it's almost impossible to not love them. So I'm having a really good time listening to this, and I'm probably gonna read more of this physically later tonight. It's 8 o'clock, so I say later tonight, which, okay, we'll see if that happens. But I am also 44% through Queen of Coin and Whispers, and me and Lara were talking about it, and honestly, I don't really know where the story is going right now. There's our main antagonist, or at least we're supposed to believe he's the main antagonist, called Vigrante. He used to be the advisor to Leah's uncle, who was king, and now that she's queen, he thinks he can come in and wreck face, but he's obviously doing a terrible job of that because she's a lot more resilient than her uncle was. The conversation that Lara and I were having was about the fact that if it goes down that path of her like defeating him, it's almost kind of bland. So hopefully something a little bit more exciting happens, because right now this is cool for the romance aspect of it. It is a female-female romance, but overall it's just kind of it's really easy to read through, so that's nice, but I'm looking forward to a lot more. So that is the reading update for today. It is Wednesday, my dudes, so I have a few more days to read more books, so hopefully I can get through them all. Can like completely skip this part of the video, but I just wanted to sit and talk for a second, and I've been doing some introspection, if you will, because today has been a weird day for me. So to start off, I got a package in the mail. Well, I got two kind of big packages in the mail. The first one was a very happy surprise, and that was Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, which was gifted to me by Eric over at Break-Even Books. I tweeted at him the second I got it, and it was like the sweetest thing in the entire world, and I was not expecting him to gift me 2 books, but he did, and it was just so kind of him. And like, that little bit of kindness and sweetness just put my morning to such a good start. And then I got the info packet that I had requested from USC for their graduate applications, and that kind of hit me as like a woohoo, this is real. Wow. USC has always been a dream school of mine, and to have as much success behind my belt already in terms of my studies with my undergraduate and my internship that is about to be a paid position, which is really exciting. It just kind of blew my mind away to see that I was making strides that were career furthering, and that was one of the big goals of my year this year. The fact that that was happening was kind of huge. I had Juliet message me, and she asked me like, oh, how do you stay so consistent with YouTube? And then I started to plan out videos for the month of July, because not only will I be going on a trip, but I'll be moving out at the end of July, like I've said a couple times now. I just wanted to kind of get ahead and make sure that I'm staying on schedule so that I can kind of keep up this momentum through the summer and then into the school year and actually stay active. Because I know it's gonna get difficult, but like I still want to do as much as I can, even if it is posting once a week during the school year. I ordered me and my sister some lunch. We got some ramen. That was really, really nice. And then I got a phone call from a job that I had applied to that I don't necessarily remember applying to. Like I remember looking them up and applying to this company, but I didn't see a confirmation of an application in any of my emails or any website that I had used between like LinkedIn or ZipRecruiter or whatever it is. Like I didn't see anything. And so the lady at the job had called me back and was like, hey, we think you're gonna be perfect for this opportunity. Like, and then she was like, I have a couple questions. Like, okay, like shoot. She goes, you know this is a full-time position, right? And I was like, I didn't know that, or else I wouldn't have applied because I go to school in July. So having to turn down an opportunity that would have been perfect, considering the fact that I haven't even finished my undergrad. I have professional experience, don't get me wrong, but like I'm still a student. So for her to say you would be a perfect fit kind of blew my mind away. But it's the first time I've had to reject a job, and that was really weird to me. So I tweeted about this, and I know that it is a very privileged thing for me to be able to go to university and to have the current internship that I have now that is going to turn into a paid internship, and very privileged to get to continue to apply for other internships and other jobs and things. And so like I kind of had a moment and I was like, why am I complaining about this? Like I'm already really, really successful right now and I have a lot of really big things lining up for me. It kind of took me for a little bit of a mental ride. And so being able to take a moment to step back from like my emotions and look at the situation that I'm in objectively. Like I am so lucky that I can go to school, that I can be part of an amazing sorority, that I can have an internship that I'm going to get paid for very soon, that I get to move out and live on my own again. But at the same time, like American culture teaches you to be very, I don't want to say selfish, but very individualistic, to look at things from a different perspective. Yeah, there's going to be so many opportunities that come my way that I might have to reject. You know, me rejecting this opportunity could be that career advancement for somebody else. So although it kind of put me into a mood for the first part of my day, it made me really take a second and think and appreciate what I have now, and to like really not take it for granted. Because yeah, like eventually I'll move on from the company that I'm with now. I'm gonna be graduating in a year and hopefully going to USC. You know, so many people in this world don't have that privilege. And so it was just it took me a moment to really understand what I have, and like honestly just be grateful for that. With that being said, I encourage you to take a moment today or whenever it is you're watching this video to really think about what is special in your life, what you are so lucky and so blessed to have. Like I am so happy that my parents let me live at home and that, you know, I have a roof over my head and like a food to feed me and my incredible bookshelves that make me so happy. These are all little things that we do every single day that we just don't, like I'm so lucky to have a bed that's comfortable to sleep in when there are people sleeping in cages. You know, like it's just things like this and moments like this that really matter. And for me to be able to like take a negative to me situation and kind of shake it off and be like, all right, move on, like next opportunity. But then I like paused and I was like, wait, like think about something real quick. You know, like being able to do that, I think shows a lot of growth in my personal character, and not to like hype myself up, but I think that's huge. And if this is the reminder that you need to look into yourself and really think about what you are lucky to have. I'm not saying that like, no, my emotions were invalid, because in comparison to the big picture, like, oh, what I'm thinking doesn't matter. Like, no, like what I think does matter and how I feel does matter. If I can kind of snap out of that mentality and think gratefully and think positively, then I really have nothing to complain about. This isn't me saying, hey, if you're upset today about something that didn't go your way, your emotions aren't valid because XYZ is happening in the world. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying I was able to look at my life slightly differently. And being able to do that is a blessing on its own. So I went from having kind of a shitty day to a fairly content day. And with that being said, I'm gonna go back to reading. I haven't made too much progress, honestly, just because I've had like a mentally taxing day. And the last couple of days I've just kind of been in a funk. So I've been trying to get as much reading as I can done. I've actually made a lot more progress in Queen of Poison and Whispers than I was expecting. And Truthwitch is dragging for me just a little bit right now, which is kind of disappointing. So I'm hoping to kind of hoping to get into the swing of things with Truthwitch. I'm gonna continue reading, and I'm gonna let you guys think about what I said. And hopefully, you too can think introspectively in the same way that I have. So we started off this morning at my mom's dental office. We got our teeth cleaned. We're bright and shining, and this man is coming very close and is watching us now. So today we have quite the eventful morning. We're at Starbucks waiting for our drinks to get done so that we can go stand in line and go pick them up. We have to go to the grocery store. What else do we have to do?
Don't we have to go to Party City?
Oh yeah, we have to go to Party City because it's my roommate's birthday today, and so I'm gonna surprise her with like birthday girl things because it's her 21st, and then we're gonna go to Petco
And then
Panda Express to buy my grandparents some lunch because I promised them I would because I couldn't yesterday.
That's okay. We'll get them today.
In terms of my reading, I finished Truthwitch this morning, so that's one book for the readathon done. However, today is what, the 26th?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I have 4 more books to read in 2 days. Will I do it? I freaking hope so. Today is also the start of the Topping the TBR weekend challenge, and the book that I'll be reading for that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. So hopefully that is another book that I can read, which means I have 5 books to read before the end of the month. What do we think of that, Nat?
I think you can do it.
Okay. Well, I don't have time to do it today. Like I just explained to everyone, all 200 of you, thank you by the way, that we have a busy day today. I can't read a book in a day today.
Obviously not today. You can do it tomorrow.
We only have so many days left in the month.
That's true.
Is this our neighbor? No, it's not. They just have the same car.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to continue the rest of our day today. Filming in public is so fucking weird.
It's like a lot of people are staring at us.
Driving by. Okay, we're gonna go pick up our Starbucks now. Hi friends. I feel like I'm really close now. So I finished Truthwitch yesterday and it was really good. Upon a second reread, it was a 4.5 star rating. I really enjoyed it so much this second time around, and there were so many things that I did not appreciate during the first go around. But I had a really good time reading it, and if I'm going to be honest, will I be able to finish both God's Grave and The Library of the Unwritten? Today's the 27th. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish these both, and I'm going to aim for at least picking up God's Grave, at least. Right now, I'm currently in the middle of Children of Blood and Bone, chapter 53. It's page 352 of 525, something like that. So I'm reading this as part of the Topping the TBR challenge that's going on this weekend from the 26th to the 28th. And when I saw that one of their group books was Children of Blood and Bone, I said, okay, I think this is a sign. I should probably pick this up. So I've been reading it the last 2 days, but really today, and it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. Everybody's probably yelling at me like, dude, you should have started this like 2 years ago when you bought the book. Yeah, I should have. But here we are 2 years later. So plans have deviated as they usually do, but you know, this was a laid-back readathon from the beginning anyway, and if I can read one book, I'll consider that a success. It was the one mandatory book to read a book with a map on the cover, and honestly, I could probably try to get Children of Blood and Bone to work for another prompt. But like, do I really care that much? No. Did I bring you guys on a little bit of an adventure this week? Is this vlog basically pointless because I read only 1 book instead of 5? No, you know why? Because I still read. My goal is to like maybe read another 100 pages or so of Children of Blood and Bone. It is 8:24 and my sister sent me a text. I'm a little tired, not gonna lie, I'm a little bit sleepy. So we're gonna see how much I can get read and then go from there. Last night I finished reading Children of Blood and Bone at like 1 o'clock in the morning and it was okay. I gave it a 3.5 star rating and I'm actually writing up my full review on my blog as part of the Late to the Party series, and I'll go ahead and link that down below because I didn't do too much talking about the book in this vlog in general just because it wasn't part of my TBR, but at the same time it has been a book that I've been meaning to read for 2 years now, and for me to sit down and read it in like 2 full sittings kind of blows my mind away. Like I could have done that 2 years ago, but I did it now. I'm writing my review and you guys will see that review soon. But with that being said, I need a new book to read. It's between God's Grave and Library of the Unwritten. I put up an Instagram poll and I'm giving it at least like an hour so people can vote. So far it looks like God's Grave is winning, but Library of the Unwritten is starting to level it out. So I'm gonna go write my blog post and then I'll check back on Instagram to see which book won, and then that'll be the final book that I read for this readathon, and it might be the final book that I read this month, so we'll see. So I decided that I would post the poll both on my Instagram and my Twitter. So it looks like God's Grave won here by 55%, and then when we check Instagram, 15 versus 9, so 63%. So it looks like God's Grave will be my next read. However, with that being said, while this poll was going on, I read Baby You're the Greatest. And it was weird. I don't know what I was expecting. It's a Scribd original, and I went in kind of blind, but I wasn't expecting that. It's, I guess, based off a true story of the decision in Britain as to ending a child's life if they're not fully functional. What's the right word? So it's this child called Broderick is deaf, blind, subject to seizures, unable to breathe without the aid of a ventilator, and is severely disabled. And it goes about the decision of ending the child's life support and if that's morally and ethically correct, and the court decision that comes with it. So like I said, this was only 30 something pages, okay? The description makes this sound so like prolific and like, but it makes it sound so much more mindful in how the conversation happens, but this is just so poorly done. Like, it's this debate between the husband and wife and the parents of this child, Broderick, and the wife is like so furiously working to keep its child alive, and the husband literally talks about pulling the plug. Oh my god, it's heavy on the trigger warnings. I wish there were trigger warnings for this because I am now severely uncomfortable, and like just it leaves like a really icky feeling. And I gave it a 1 star, and it just I didn't need to waste 30 minutes reading that. If you see that on Scribd, don't read it. Hard no, would not recommend, would not read. I just don't. If you're going to bring up the conversation and the debate, it needs to be done in a better way, because then you would be making a point. With this, like, the last page is the most, I don't know. There was one quote in it though that I did like, and it was how the mom was talking about love, and he was sitting there proposing, like, so if I was essentially like brain dead and like on ventilators and whatnot, and the only thing that was keeping me alive were these tubes, and I'm not like dancing around for you and I'm not whatever for you, she's like, love isn't a transaction. I would still love you regardless of if you are able to do XYZ. And the quote that she says is, oh, I wrote it down. What was it? She says, love is not a trade. It is a deep, selfless reaching out from one spirit to another. It doesn't require reward if that's what you're getting at. I don't have to get something out of it. It's not about getting, it's about giving. And he's like, and you would still love me if I was just laying there? And she's like, yes, stupid. I married you for a reason. That was probably the only good part about this. It was written, I don't know, it was written by a man from the husband's perspective as to that is the end of that conversation. In the polls, like I said, God's Grave did win, so I'm probably going to start. I'm catching up with a bunch of BookTube videos right now. If you look at my queue, so you can see I have 121 videos. And so after having read that trash can of a short story, I needed a mental break, and that's what we're doing right now. But after dinner, I'll probably start God's Grave, and then we'll see how far in I can get to it. There's no way I can finish it tonight, but we'll see how far I can get into it, and then I will check in with you guys later. Okay, I feel like the lighting's a little bit weird because I'm right in front of my big lamp, but it's cool. So I've read up to chapter 4 of God's Grave, which is about page 40, so I haven't read a ton. I've been trying to read for the last like 2 hours, and I haven't been able to successfully keep my focus on my book, and that's okay. I'm going to add God's Grave to my wrap-up on my blog because I did start it and I do have some thoughts in the sense that it's just really good to be back in this world, and I needed something a little bit gritty, but good lord, the first 20 pages and there's already smut. Granted, there's like a disclaimer quite literally at the very beginning, and I was like, huh, I wonder why he'd mention this. And it's because on the next couple of pages there's quite a bit of smut, but very purposeful. Very purposeful. It's kind of the same way that Jay did it in book 1. So like obviously keeping in mind that this is an adult novel, and I have been reading a lot of YA recently, so it's kind of nice to jump into God's Grave right now. That is it for the mini magical readathon. I'm gonna go edit the vlog, and then I'll check in with you guys tomorrow morning for the final wrap-up. Good hello friends, so it is officially Monday morning and I'm here to wrap up this readathon. So granted, I didn't read all of the books that were going to be on my TBR, and honestly that's okay because I still ended up reading 3 books, 1 short story, and I started my 4th novel. So I've read 1,471 pages since the start of this readathon, and that's kind of huge considering the fact that Children of Blood and Bone and Truth Witch are 2 fairly chunky books. I had a really good time reading them, and yeah, I consider this a success. That's another, 1,400 pages that I ended up reading, and they were all higher than 3 stars, so that's definitely a plus, except for the short story that we're not going to talk about. So that's it for the mini magical readathon. The next time I will see you guys will be in my June wrap-up, where I talk about all of the books that I read in June, and spoiler alert, it's over 18 books, which is a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all of my socials, and until then, I will talk to you on Instagram.